Very good morning and welcome to FYI, our morning program. For your information, it is the 28th day of August. It is done, it is finished, it is gone. A very good morning to each and every one of you. What are you guys having for breakfast this morning? How was the night, folks? Do let us know how was the night that has passed. Great to see so many of you on the live already, and those comments are coming in. Chevon McDonald is here. Debbie Collins, Lucille Kendall is here. All our favorite people, folks. We're just happy that you guys are with us as we come on this morning. Don't make us act too hard. If you find any value in our broadcast, share it live. You find any value in our program, share it, folks. Smash that emoji button. Let us know how you're doing this morning, folks. The final throes of August is upon us, and we're just so delighted and privileged that we have all of you with us. A very, very good morning. A very, very good morning. Wherever you're joining us from, you might want to shoot out in the comment. We give you guys a shout out as we begin our morning program. Chevon McDonald is here. Good to see you, Chevon. Debbie Collins, Don Walcott, we see you there as well. And we're so happy and always delighted to have you folks here with us. We got lots to discuss this morning as we head up to that 9 o'clock hour, just out of the blocks here with 8 o'clock. But good to see Jermaine Griffith on the live, Gavin Jacobs on the live, John Walcott on the live this morning, Mark, Tommy Gibbs on the live too. Folks, welcome to each and every one of you. Sharon Murray is here too. Good to have you, Sharon. Alex is here. Anton Nichols is here. Nicholson. Anton, good morning. Jennifer Bob is here too. Gladys Passad, Shelly DeRitta, Rawl, welcome. Moses Barlow, Geraldine, good to see you, Geraldine, and all the other folks. Good to have each and every one of you with us, guys. Welcome. O'Neill Vanessa, good to see you there. Luann Hall, Chinogny Leach is here. Stuart, good to have all of you. Lester Thomas here too. Folks, we're so happy. We're so delighted to have all of you with us as we start our program this morning. For your information, Guyanese, international audience, local, diaspora, region 11. That's three ways I can say that. Buster Dog is here. Boxer Dog. Good to have Boxer on the live. Simone Blackman is here as well. And all the other folks joining us. Good to have you. I see we got Tessa, Andrew Griffith, Sheena Hazel on the live this morning. Donna, Andrew Griffith. Good morning to you and Don and Dougie. Good morning to the guys this morning. Good morning to our gals too. Wenda Hudson, Donna, Jennifer, Sheena Hazel. Good morning to each and every one of you. Start of another beautiful day. Good weather where we are. Good weather. We're at the end of summer. You all feeling it yet where you guys are in the diaspora? Feeling a little cool air seeping in there. Lynette Jaffa, good to have you there. Good to have you on this morning, Lynette and Camille. Camille, good to have you on with us this morning. Of course, this is Camille McKenzie. Camille McKenzie, good to see you there. Robin Kendall, see you as well, and all of the other beautiful folks who are joining us this morning, folks. We're fired up, and we're ready to go, and we're ready to get into the first 15. It's a couple of things. It's not plenty. We think you guys ought to know about as we get up to speed this morning. We've got some cold black coffee here. I keep him my company, and you lovely folks. Earlier English, Bushmaster. Good morning to you, Debbie Collins, all the Collins. Debbie got big family, man. There's plenty of them. Plenty of them. Debbie got big family. Claire Alexis Chamley, Richmond. How things at your end there? Brooklyn, Queens, New York. How things at your end there this morning, Claire? You're at your desk yet? Aren't you at your desk yet? Oh, we got some fantastic people in the diaspora working hard. Met a lot of them, had the privilege of meeting a lot of them during summer. You know, some retired, living the good life now. living a good life, come out of banking and construction, the financial sector. Oh, beautiful people all over this world. Siobhan joining us in New Jersey says, hearing us loud and clear. Oh, we're so happy. We're so happy all the way there in New Jersey. You can hear us. You're in it's what orange it is. It's not Smile Orange. Are you in that part of Jersey? Hmm? Is it Orange County? Y'all help me out, man. Help me out. You see your boy struggling. Mark, technician Debbie says loud and clear. Nico Fraser, we see you on the live this morning, Nico. We see you on the live. Eve Storage. Thank you, Alison. Welcome. The others got me out here looking tin. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Dexter Charles, East Orange. I know it was an orange. It's West is orange. Peel is peel orange. Nico Fraser says Barbados in the house. No doubt the folks from East Orange gonna wish they were in Barbados this morning. We're discontented as a people. And this is as a humanity, not just Guyanese alone. We're discontented. It's never enough. We got long hair, we wanted short. We got short hair, we wanted long. We thin, we want get size. We got size, we want get thin. The sociologist says, man by his nature, put on a little trinity there. Man by his nature, discontented. Discontented. Who are we talking about this morning, folks? Who are we talking about? Apologies there. We got to dot an I and cross a T quickly. Who are we talking about there? By nature. It's never enough for us. It's just the way things are. It's just the way things are. It is just never enough for us, you know? Never enough for us. You ever wake up good. I love when I meet people and they use back these phrases. We don't, plan this is gonna be a thing, We don't plan it. I meet some people in tongue. That's how they started the conversation. Tinakni Leach says joining us from St. Kitts and Nevis. Which part of St. Kitts and Nevis? Guys, I went to a beautiful part of St. Kitts and Nevis. They call it Taba. I think it's short for Tabernacle. Oh, God. You should see the drive-in to this place called Tabernacle. The drive-in there. Picturesque. Jesus. I got a little house somewhere there, a little hammock. A couple book and a whole radio playing 2 classics. And you can retire there if you see Jesus, every turn was breathtaking. Every turn. That reminded me when I was going to Madia, driving into Madia. The road little thing, I should say. But oh, Father, they got some sights. They got some sights here. Tinakni, big shout out to you, Mark and Dolly. All the tubers, according to Dolly. Waveney Doris, we see you there. All the other brothers and sisters joining us this morning. Yeah. I was telling my wife the other day, they got places in this world to see. I want to see them. I want to travel and see. You ever stand in a spot and said, Jesus have mercy? Said when I was standing on the beach in Tobago, y'all know the whole thing. Y'all know the whole thing. Standing on that beach there, I said, Father, there's a God. I'm serving you more from the day. There's a God. Yvette Madu, good to see you there. Allison, welcome. Good to see you. Thanks for that contribution via that super sticker, Allison. Thank you so much, Allison. Dolly and Charmaine. Murat Reed. Thank you so much. You guys are so awesome. Awesome. First 15, folks. First 15 things. I think we started with the union. Y'all better come out to the Guyana Public Service Credit Union meeting on Sunday again. It was delayed because of the quorum issue. It was a fantastic discussion, nonetheless. But I want to invite all of you. Come out. Don't be strangers. I love meeting you guys in person. You know, one thing I always say, you're tall, man. I realize you're so tall. Yesterday morning, you're younger than you look on television. People don't say social media, man. You're younger than you look. I'm a 75-inch. Elizabeth Howard, how are you doing there? Brenda Moore. Elizabeth, Mark, Leon Logan, Dolly. Rena Marks is here too. First 15 folks. I think we're starting with some heavy issues. We're starting with a light. Here's where we're starting. Mark Light, the president of the Ghana Teachers Union. Brother has been downplaying concerns about internal divisions within the union regarding this recent deal that the PPP has been doing. They've been doing backflips over this purported deal. Carlton, that's what worries me. When I see Priya happy about this, Irfan doing some assaults, I say, don't do it. Last when the union members were telling Mark, president of the Ghana Teachers Union, apparently, don't do it. Don't do it, Mark. Don't do it. And President Light stated that teachers are preparing for the new school year, and he is unaware of any impending strikes or protest action. That is what is the word in the ground. You know when you got your ear to the mulberry bush? I haven't seen mulberry, but I never got around to finding out. You got your ear to the ground. You should saw my protest. They don't like this. I'll keep saying I haven't seen any teacher out there. If you all know any, refer them to me. Right? Refer them to me. Lynette, you distracted me this morning. Stop it. Don't do it. The teachers didn't like this thing. I haven't seen any teacher who said, well done, President Light. And that's the facts of the matter. I don't know if teachers have been expressing that to Uncle Mark personally, but I haven't seen that. And he recently said he's unaware of any such protest actions to take place. We saw also the General Secretary of the Ghana Teachers Union, one Coretta McDonald. You may or may not know her. She has expressed concerns over the slow pace of school preparations. It's like the Ministry of Learning at all. The General Secretary has attributed this, right, to insufficient staffing, ongoing issues with school maintenance as well. Came up as an issue. That's what she's telling the press this morning. She has also noted dissatisfaction among teachers with the 3-year deal. And she has continued to criticize the lack of consultation and the review time before the finalization. As I said to you, the union was telling its president, don't do it, Mark. Don't do it. But Donna Crowder and Waveney Doris, Yvette Madu, you all know how we say it colloquially. Hardest puppy. Hardest puppy, Donna. So she criticized this lack of consultation and review before this deal was finalized. As a matter of fact, you heard her say herself. She said herself that they were shocked. What they thought was a simple routine meeting to get to a finalization turned out to be the finalization meeting. You ever get blindsided in a meeting like that? I don't like surprises like that at all. I don't like surprises like that. Right? Of course, as I said, the government, ministry, Irfan, Jack Dio, doing backflips. As I said, this is a deal of a lifetime. This package includes salary increases, according to them, it's alleged, salary upgrades for non-graduate teachers, annual health screenings, according to them. Depending on who you talk to, you know different components of this deal. Improved qualification allowances and a clothing allowance and duty-free concessions for teachers. Teachers said they wanted an increased pay. They want it in the bottom line when they got the bank in the end of the month or what have you. They want to sit there, they don't. The children getting more clothing allowance than the teachers. Some what we heard, folks. I want to refer you back to some of this discussion we had with the president of the Ghana Teachers Union, because sometimes you come away from these events a day or two and you forget. Here is the General Secretary of the Ghana Teachers Union talking about how surprised she was at the turn of events. Take a look, folks. We'll see you guys on the other side.
I don't really know what happened today. What I know is that there was a general council meeting that was hurriedly called at 6 o'clock in the morning. A message was sent.
This morning?
No, not this morning. Last week, Friday, 6 o'clock in the morning, a message was sent. And we know that according to our rules, and the rules is what everybody keep harping on, even Barajabio is harping on the GTU's rules. And the rules indicate that meetings are you're supposed to have 7 days notice for meetings. If it's an emergency meeting, then you must have a day or two notice for that meeting. And so with 6 o'clock in the morning and then for 10 o'clock meeting, quite a lot of our reps were not there. But let's fast forward. After our rejection last week, we were supposed to have met and to meet with our members to get from them whether they agreed to this downsliding thing. Because I know if you're going to negotiate up. But we had a downsliding thing here where you were going 8, 10, 8, 9. And before we had 7, 6 something, 7, 8, whatever it was. But this is not good math. And I know the government usually boasts about how good they are at math. And this math is not math thing. However, today we turned up there for the continuation of where we left off last week, only to recognize, coming to the end of the meeting, that there was a pre-meeting where the decisions were already made that today an agreement is going to be signed based on the trickery that passed at our General Council meeting, where the president there sat there and took General Council down a path that did not reflect what was actually being discussed at those meetings. There are still many, many issues coming out of our proposal that have not been directly addressed. And for the president to come there to cajole people, not even giving our General Council members the opportunity to touch base with the regular members in their branches. It's very unfortunate. I can say to you today is a sad day in the life of the GTU, in the lives of our teachers across this country. It is sad in the faces, and it's a slap in the faces of so many men and women who stood their ground for this union, which is over 153 years old. To have seen today, a day when we were supposed to be standing up for the members who we took oath to represent, that the union has been divided and the president took it upon himself to sign off or to sell out, let me say that, the teachers of this country. I feel very, very, very disappointed for my colleagues on the Essequibo Coast who stood out there for 75 days. The victimization that was meted out to quite a lot of our colleagues on the Essequibo Coast. And I'm focusing here on the Essequibo Coast because that's where most of the victimization took place. I am disappointed and saddened for our teachers in Kokwani, in Regions 1, in Regions 9 and Regions 8. I know my brother from Region 7, from Barticle, representing Region 7. He was there championing the cause for the teachers there, Upper Mars, the teachers who live in those areas and have to be spending huge sums of monies. And here it is, you're taking 10%. without even recognizing what inflation is and what 10% would mean in dollar figures to our teachers. When we look at what inflation is and you subtract that from 10%, you're actually getting 5.5%. How much is that in dollars to our teachers? And the majority of our teachers fall into the group where they will not receive anything much. I know there has been lots of talks out there where you have the Vice Barjagio coming out there to talk about duty-free concession, trying to deceive people like he would normally do into giving the impression that teachers all across the board are receiving duty-free concessions, which is not so. The housing revolving project, it will only be for a certain amount of teachers for a number of years because every teacher will not receive that. The only two conditions in that agreement that all teachers will benefit from across the board is the salaries and the clothing allowance. And even with the clothing allowance, our children were given $45,000 and teachers are being given $15,000. But you expect teachers to dress moderately and to dress like teachers. But here it is, you're giving them $15,000 to get themselves ready for school. We spoke about a risk allowance of $10,000 for a health risk allowance. And you know what the ministry did? The ministry said they cannot afford that $10,000 for teachers. But they can afford to have outreaches, health outreaches across the region. Now that wouldn't benefit teacher. That would be an outreach for everybody living in a community. So it doesn't speak to teachers, and we're not here speaking about other sectors of workers. We are the teachers' representatives, and we are speaking on behalf of the teachers.
Yep. Curtin McDonald last week talking to us, laying it out. So you see, when they talk about all the niceties that are going to be given out, when they talk about the annual health screenings and improved qualification allowances, it's not much. Clothing allowance and so on, it's not much. Duty-free concession. I tell people all the time, duty-free concession is not getting the car free. It's not getting the vehicle free. You got to get something to meet the duty-free. So in your massacre, Yvette and Debbie and Tracy, you got to get something to meet the duty-free. So we were happy when the General Secretary of the Union there laid it out. Yes, I know that it sounds nice, but this is what it really means for teachers. Duty free, you gotta get something to meet the duty free. You gotta get something to meet it. Yeah. So you're watching that, joining us, folks. The president of Ghana Teachers Union, according to reports, downplaying divisions in the union. The members of the union saying we can't go down the road. Two can't walk unless they agree. Robin Kendall said, pass the sell out. We sell in or sell out. I don't want to judge a man because Priya got on a red dress and he got on a red shirt. Right. But this is something I, at least, at minimum, expected greater consultation with the union members before a final decision was had. I think that's what you call consensus building in this process. That's how you can see the real will of the members of the union. So we're getting lashed on that one side with the union now. Anything working properly in this country, we're getting lashed on the other side now. What's happening in the oil and gas sector? What's happening there? You see this gas monetization deal? Bringing that gas from out there, how much ever miles out, running it via those pipes. You see that Wales gas is showing problems. And the PNCR, through its chairman, Sherwin Holder, raised some very, very strong issues this morning. Very strong issues. Very strong issues. As a matter of fact, Holder has called for an investigation into a gas monetization deal between the government of Guyana and a company called Fulcrum LNG, a 1-year-old company. Hold on. First red flag, 1-year-old company founded by a former ExxonMobil vice president, Jesus Bachalo. Hope I got it right. Jesus Bachalo, 1-year-old company, former vice president of ExxonMobil Guyana. And folks in the PNCR, Sherwin Holder, who gives oversight, shadows the natural resources sector, he says this here is a conflict of interest. People will not conflict of interest if it bucks them in the face. They know Nigel had conflict of interest. Conflict of interest bucks them in the face now. But Jesus Bachalo, they aren't seeing it. 1-year-old company being gifted this huge contract. And so the PNCR, they're expressing concerns about the company's lack of experience and potential conflict of interest, as I said, due to his prior association with ExxonMobil. But these are the things they don't want us to talk about. I wish a reporter would ask this on the usual Thursday afternoon press conference, if you want to call it that. You want to elevate that foolishness that happens out of Freedom House on Thursdays. You want to elevate it to that. And the government has been defending this. And you all know who particularly in the government. Bald head, big head fella. The PNCR is urging transparency and an independent probe into how Bachalo and the LNG, Fulcrum LNG, were awarded this lucrative deal. Friends, family, and favorites. Friends, family, and favorites. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like, folks. We're covering some other issues happening. Esther Cumberbatch, we see you there. I mean, we're covering Esther, but I saw Esther name there. Said give her a shout out now. We have Doris. Says OMG. We have to pray more hard. That's what Waveney says. Satan on the loose, and he has possessed some of them. Where's the transparency here? Independent probe. That's the recommendation. Talking about transparency. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. This new Berbice River Bridge. This new Berbice River Bridge. It's shady. It's shady. It's shady. You remember when courts first came together? It had a yellow like this. It had a yellow and blue. First time I latched down Main Street to go and see the building, I had to put on my shades. That thing that burnt. You're gonna plug in 2 cards there and supply Guyana with power, Guyana with lights. That thing that bright. I got a flashback when I saw this graph. Among the things that trending, among the things that trending this morning, folks, that Berbice River Bridge. More questions and answers like this Fulcrum LNG deal. Friends, family, and favorites. The people you know they have a Margaret. Margaret said, going to see a man by the bridge. Who are you going to see? In the living room? Which one the men? The one that makes all the arrangements? Who has all the support? Who has all the support? Or the one on the government side? Which one you going to see? Where should that you're going to see? So Ali criticize their lives to change. who's been asking some questions on this bridge. He be talking half and left in half. That's the problem we got with I this morning. He talking half of it. He left in the other half. That's what feasibility study. He talked about that. The question was put to him quite recently. The FC talk about impact assessment. He ain't talk about that. Monkeys know which limb for jump on. He's know arithmetic. Which limb to jump on. He's know. So he's been defending, this is air finale, the government's plan to build this high-span bridge across the Berbice River. Of course, as I said, dismissing concerns from the Alliance for Change, as listen to this can sound familiar to you. He's dismissed their concerns as anti-progress. That sounds familiar to you. Once you have an independent voice, like the APA, you don't like development, the anti-progress. These are the folks who would want them to say, oh, you can't need roads. The anti-progress, if you have a differing view. He's arguing, Irfan, that the bridge is essential for the region's development, Region 6, citing future industrial growth and the infrastructural needs of Berbice. And here are some of the concerns that the Alliance for Change has raised that he's been mum on. Of course, we've said a feasibility study, the cost of the bridge. The cost of the bridge, $260 million US dollars. $260 million. Transparency of the passenger. So Ali talk about anti-progress, anti-development. But he ain't talking the things. He ain't touching these here. He ain't touching these here at all. Right? The Alliance for Change has called for a release of the pre-feasibility studies and a comprehensive environmental and social impact assessment before this project should go forward. Right? Feasibility study. That's what is needed here, according to the Alliance for Change. Comprehensive environmental and social impact assessments. Additionally, the Alliance for Change has questioned the government's handling of this existing Berbice contract. As I said, the transparency. They asked how the existing Berbice Bridge concession that it holds up until 2030 going to operate, and financial implications for taxpayers. 260 million US dollars for this bridge. And they don't want to ask questions. In a democracy, people must be allowed to ask questions. They don't want that. In McKemrat's voice, they just want you to sue away them. You bring a mala, lash it on the neck. And he said, nice, Sahib, thank you. Thank you, Sahib, thank you. That's what they want. But I didn't get time with that. He said they're anti-progress. Anti-progress. He said this bridge aligns with the broader national development, but you can't question it. Can't question it. The Ministry of Public Works, as we run this, has begun its process of pre-qualifying contractors for this project, and tenders are due by September 18th, next month. Well, 2 weeks from now. Because next month is a couple of days from now. Those tenders are due by September 18th. It's a lot happening, folks. It's a lot. They don't want questions to be asked. Amabel Clement, Andrew Griffith, Seymour Williams, the questions they're running from. Questions. Let's take another project that got some question marks over it. Fraught with delays, like any typical PPP project. 1 ton delays, you know, 1 ton delays. So let's take another one. This road they're doing from Good Success to Chumeri on the East Bank. Delayed. Thanks to part of the project document coming in late. This road is being done by China Road and Bridge Corporation. It's a company of the Chinese government. That's what we're hearing. China Road and Bridge Corporation. And it has finally, belatedly, completed the design for this road here. $75.8 million design. Right? And this is, of course, the road improvement project, the East Bank Demerara road improvement project. And it spans 21 kilometers, as we said, from Good Hope, from Good Success on the East Bank to Chumeri. Goes all the way up there. But as I said, yet another project fraught with delays. This was supposed to start in August 1. Right? August 1. But the design, as we said, 7 kilometers of the design were finished by the company. And then, of course, Edil had to run in and start barking and so on, pretending that he's effective and telling the company that the government wanted a full design by August 20th. Right? And according to the ministry, this simple delay has cost the project at least 28 days. At least 28 days. They're behind. But interestingly, Bishop says that the 36-month project deadline is not going to be affected. It's not going to be affected. And here the other part of this project. I remember, I don't know if you're all old enough, but a couple of years ago, when that most recent of the roundabouts at the head of Mandela Avenue, not Mandela Avenue, Blessingen Road and the seawall by the pump station, when that roundabout was completed, I remember Mouth Freddy, all kinds of complaints about how traffic going to be back up there because of the design of the roundabout. No such thing, these many years later, has ever occurred. That's a stark difference to the roundabout by the Jumbie Bird. A stark difference. I'd never seen so much a truck turnover. Right? Cars got into fender benders there. I never see it at pump station. But there's always a little action by the Jumbie Bird. Always a little action, Ras Ricardo, by this Jumbie Bird we got here. So we're watching it, folks. This project involves, from Good Success to Mary, they're going to be attempting, delayed, rehabilitating 24 kilometers of road. According to them, several bridges are earmarked, culverts for upgrading. And so we're watching it, folks. And of course, they can boast out all the latest technology and material and so on being used. Well, I'm not impressed with what we see so far. Take the access road of this bank, the new one. For instance, the road is wavy. And by the bridges on the road, even worse. Jesus. That's how the vehicle is. Up, down, like simulated waves. Clearly, somebody didn't know what they're doing. Clearly, somebody did not know what they were doing. And forecasting, the authorities say that the Ghana police force and an app called Resolve 75 will help to manage the traffic and so on, because several streets are going to be, several areas for this work to be carried out there. Good success to Mary. Several streets got to be blocked off and so on. So police is going to be pitching in to reduce congestion and improve the transportation route. I don't know about you, but I find when the police on the road, it's more chaos with the transportation. You ever get to some traffic back up, and you know instinctively a police directing traffic up the road, sir. And when you get up the road, through the farm, is a police hindering progress. It's a police hindering progress. So we're watching it, folks. We are watching it. A lot of these things delayed. Let's take another one. This 31.7, 31.9 billion pediatric and maternal hospital, good for acting that's proposed there. Them boys run out saying they got a superstructure has been completed. You see, when never see comfy. When never see comfy. You know, when I was in South Carolina, my family took me to see a small regional hospital there, right? They didn't just have hospitals. Y'all know the whole thing. Y'all in the diaspora. You should see this campus. You should see this campus. This superstructure that caught our attention would be dwarfed by one of these small buildings. This superstructure would be the parking lot. A needed facility, no doubt. But it's the boss, it's a superstructure. If you come out from living in a shack, you go in a 3-bedroom, that seems like a superstructure to you. Rest of the world has gone on. 31.9 billion. And it's being built by a company called Vamed Engineering. It's globally experienced, according to the notation we have. And of course, like everything else, listen to the phrasing, expected to revolutionize healthcare. Well, so many things in the last 4 years were supposed to be revolutionized, but we're still waiting. We're still holding. The city hospital will focus on maternal, neonatal, and pediatric care, featuring advanced imaging and modern laboratories and surgical suites, 256 beds, and high-quality UK source equipment, because the UK firm carrying out the project. I like how the British did it. You got to buy our equipment. You got to buy everything. So we're watching them, folks, and the superstructure. Be careful. You know, for a hospital that's going to be catering for pregnant women and so on, it talk a lot about that kind of safety and mobility and so on. Is it going to have one of those? It's not an escalator floor. What do you call it? The one that runs level. You just stand up and you go from point A to B. Swoosh! Escalators go up. This one is level. You see it at JFK when you're going through. There are several portions of floor, very long to walk. You just stand up and you swoosh. He says, Obia, the floor move, Obia that. Such for some of us. So we're watching the superstructure, folks. We're watching it. And of course, as I said, this is a MOU between Austria, Guyana, right? UK, a particular UK Export Crediting Agency financing project. So you're watching it. We're watching it. 10.3 billion from February's budget alone went to this project. 10.3 billion. So we're watching it. Somebody eating a bread here. Somebody eating a bread. I see Tracy says troops. But look, story here now. We've already learned that senior policeman Calvin Brutus, Deputy Commissioner Calvin Brutus, was supposed to be interviewed by Soku. And he promptly turned him down, saying they didn't have the jurisdiction. Right? In law, they say locus standi. You don't have the standing in the matter. That's what he told Soku. It is alleged. Ben said, this is bureaucracy now at the highest. He waiting for a report, update from Soku. Man, he didn't say I'm instructing them to supply an update. He said waiting. That could be 10 years, 15 years. He said he's waiting. This report from the Special Organized Crime Unit, or SOCO, regarding this investigation into alleged financial impropriety against, as we have noted, the acting Deputy Commissioner of Police, Calvin Brutus. Ben said, told the media recently that the investigation is ongoing. And here it is. It's ongoing, but that there are no timelines for completion. No timelines. Of course, as you know, by now, Deputy Commissioner Brutus was sent on leave to facilitate this investigation. Was sent on leave, I think with pay. He's living nice. Ben said he waiting. Ben said he waiting. Typical Ben. He's holding. Some former policemen said they don't like what's happening here. Typical police force under Hickens, they argue. Right? Typical police force under Hickens. But we're watching it, folks. We're running on to see what the end will be. We're watching it. That's just one of the things, one of the other things we're following. Waiting on the update, waiting. It's coming soon. It's coming soon. I want y'all know them boys getting nice time off of us. Andrew, Sion, Gwyneth, Orette, Everett. Them boys getting nice time off of us. Exxon Mobil licking his lips. Licking its lips. You know the remuneration for some of these folks here? These executives? You know the remuneration for them? Real nice time. Real nice time. Exxon Mobil expects that its global crude oil demand is going to remain above 100 million barrels per day right through to 2050. Right through. And this is a forecast that is 25% higher than what British Petroleum, BP, is predicting. 25% higher. And reports suggest that this outlook, this rosy outlook, supports Exxon's ambitious production plans in contrast to BP's reduction strategy, the competition. Right? But that being said, Exxon has also predicted slower progress in the global carbon emissions reduction anticipating advancements in technology only after 2030. So even though you got batteries and, you know, more efficient cars and electric cars and so on, Exxon is estimating that that's not going to significantly impact demand. And so it's going to continue to make money, cha-ching, real money, right up to 2050. Right up to 2050. 100 million, this is globally, 100 million barrels of oil per day. That's money for Chanel, money for Gale, Waveney, Evette. That money coming in cash grant, they're only given to some friends, family, and favorites. Friends, family, and favorites. That's why we had to post what we saw recently. Man said, you gotta know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody in the PvP. Forget one of these cash grants. To get one of these cash grants, it's who you know and it's who know you. So while you and I struggling, Valdin Kendall and others, to make a bread, to eat a food, Exxon said we could till 2050, 100 million barrels a day. Exxon's going to churn out. That's nice time, folks. That's nice time. You can look down 25 years out. Say, we gonna good. Maybe don't worry about a thing. We that good. We that good. Don't worry. Don't worry. Right? Meanwhile, the residents there at Coveren got it fighting not to let people waste. Exxon waste and so on. End up by them. Letter to the editor today. Letter to the editor. I should have talked about this when we were talking about Hickens and them boys. One letter to the editor today. Here is gentleman asking, when will when will Ben's ministry be held responsible? And who, if anybody, will be held responsible for what's happening there? Who is going to be held responsible? This is Jamil Changli, says he's the chairman of the Cooperative Republicans of Guyana. Oh, he wrote a piece of letter in the papers today. A scathing critique. Jamil Changli. Questions of lack of accountability within the Ministry of Home Affairs. He said despite numerous scandals, ranging from the Madia fire inquiry to police misconduct and inadequate firefighting resources, no one in the ministry has been held responsible. That's how the people roll. That's what Changli don't know. That's how they roll. The more dotishness you do, is the more promotion you get. He said despite numerous scandals, ranging from the Madia fire inquiry to police misconduct and adequate firefighting resources, nobody ain't being held responsible. Changli also highlighted failures in public safety, such as defective fire equipment, unaddressed safety reports, increasing crime, including, this according to Changley, drive-by shootings and criminal impersonation of police officers. Told you all about this. Changley said no heads and rolling. Who head should roll at Home Affairs? Changley is calling for the ministry to prove its effectiveness by restoring law and order. He's also urged Irfan Ali to take decisive action to regain public confidence in the Ghana Police Force, the Fire Service, the Prison Service, and the Defense Force. You heard issues there. All of that happening on a PP watch. 4 years in, we're not being led like a ship adrift without a sail or rudder, without an engine and compass. We're just drifting. We're just drifting. Jamil Changley asks, when will someone at the Ministry of Home Affairs be held accountable? Small question. Small question. And has been letters to the editor. Again, the people at Coverdon up in arms about this waste treatment facility. This is where I was going earlier. Up in arms. They said the requisite studies and due diligence need to be had. We've seen in the papers over time, a community advocate there in Coverdon, Penelope Howell, Audriana Thomas as well has been out there as community advocates representing this issue as their community and are fighting for it. And they have raised some serious concerns about the EPA's decision to award an environmental permit to this company called Professional Waste Solutions, Inc. PWSI, Professional Waste Solutions, Inc. And it's being alleged that they have not conducted what is supposed to be a mandatory environmental impact assessment. Or they have not, in addition to that rather, they have not consulted with the local Coverdon community. And it is the community there at Coverdon that alleges breaches of the Environmental Protection Act, unethical practices have been brought to light according to the community members, echoing past incidents where similar permits were overturned. We've outlined a number of them during the course of these programs. EIA waiver, waiver, cement factory, waiver. The waiver is the norm. The no objection, that's the rarity. Right? The EIA is a rarity. The study is a rarity. Sharon Castro Edwards says, friends, family, and favorites. The folks, they're not letting it go. And several other organizations are backing the people at Coverdon, demanding an immediate cessation to the companies at the PWSI operations until full compliance with the legal environmental standards. Halt what is happening there. That's what they say. Halt what is happening there. All right. And keep you all posted on all things professional waste solutions. We're going to keep you all posted on that front. We're going to keep you all posted. As we wrap up, folks, carnage on our roads and our waterways continue. We're watching it. One Marlon Schultz. Hope I got the surname correct. He's from the Mandela squatting area. He was hospitalized quite recently after crashing his car at the intersection of Mandela Avenue and David Rose Street in Georgetown, the south of the city. He was speeding, according to reports, failed to stop at the intersection there at Mandela Avenue and David Rose Street. And that led to a collision. He had a pillion rider on the motorcycle as well. One Akeem Rollins of Covent Garden. And he received minor injuries. He was treated and released. Right? Shots, for his part, sustained head injuries, a broken arm, and he remains hospitalized. They're telling us an investigation is ongoing. Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. And finally, folks, I think it's finally, City Hall said they're losing money with these billboards in the city. Apparently, some company has usurped city carpets, city space with the billboards. This big money, on those billboards to put up on those big graphics, and it could be $1 million, $2, $3 million, easy. City Hall is raising an alarm over revenues it says it has lost due to these unauthorized billboards. And they're expressing now serious concerns. Serious concerns. Right? At a recent council meeting, Leland Saul and Clayton Hines, both councillors, highlighted the proliferation of these unlicensed billboards and lack of enforcement from the city engineers department. That's a whole story right there. That's a whole story right there. Whole story right there. And according to reports, the MNCC is particularly troubled by businesses utilizing city spaces without consent, which has hindered its revenue collection, as we said. We know City Hall could use every penny it has right now. So you're watching this, folks. Among other things, the first 15 or so, as we begin the day today, the first 15 or so things we think you ought to know about. And we're going to leave it there for today. Everett and Waveney, Chanel says lawlessness. Lawlessness indeed. Dan Mitchell, let me go. Orette, Andrew, and all the other folks who are joining us. We're going to leave it there today, folks. We hope you guys go ahead and have a fantastic rest of the day. Gil Alicop, Diane, Edward Gonzalez from the Bronx, and all the other folks on with us this morning. Debbie Collins, Marlon Thomas, Maxine Monroe. Good to see each and every one of you there. We're going to see you guys right back here in the next one. Share the like before you go. Gentle friends, smash that emoji button as well. And stay safe. Have a fantastic rest of the day. We hope you're fired up and ready to go. We'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe.